A daily banana can help your body after 50, or quietly work against it, depending on one rule most people never consider. Most people see bananas as a simple, harmless fruit, cheap, convenient, easy to eat. But once you pass 50, your body doesn't process nutrients the same way it did in your 20s or 30s. Things like blood pressure, kidney function, blood sugar control, and even medications start to matter much more. And that's where bananas become interesting. In this video, we're going to explore what actually happens to your body when you eat bananas every day after 50, how that experience may be different from younger adults, and how to enjoy the benefits without creating hidden problems. So, grab a pen and paper, because the small details you're about to hear can make a big difference. Before we talk about benefits, we need to understand why age changes the conversation. As we get older, several things become more common. Blood pressure tends to rise, kidney function may slowly decline even without symptoms, and many people begin taking medications for the heart, blood pressure, or blood sugar. All of these factors directly affect how your body handles potassium, and bananas are one of the most potassium-rich fruits in a typical diet. For a younger, healthy adult, this is usually straightforward, but after 50, potassium becomes a nutrient that can be helpful or harmful depending on your individual situation. That doesn't mean bananas are bad. It means they need to be eaten with awareness. And now, let's look at what happens inside your body when you eat bananas daily after 50, starting with your heart. Heart health and blood pressure. When you eat a banana, one of the first systems it affects is your heart. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral that helps regulate heartbeat and supports healthy vessel function by balancing the effects of sodium in the body. For younger adults, this is usually straightforward, but after the age of 50, blood pressure tends to rise, and blood vessels naturally become less flexible. This is why potassium often becomes more relevant later in life. For some people over 50, eating one banana a day may help support blood pressure as part of a balanced diet, especially when it replaces salty processed snacks. However, this is also where caution matters. Many adults over 50 take medications for blood pressure or heart health, and some of these can affect potassium levels. If potassium rises too high, it can place stress on the heart instead of protecting it. This is a concern younger adults rarely face, but after 50, eating bananas wisely means understanding both the benefit and the limit. Next, let's look at how bananas affect muscle strength, cramps, and fatigue as we age. Muscle function, cramps, and fatigue. Another area where bananas can make a noticeable difference after 50 is muscle function. Bananas provide potassium, which plays a key role in muscle contraction and nerve signaling. When potassium levels are balanced, muscles contract and relax more smoothly. For younger adults, muscle cramps are often linked to intense exercise or dehydration. But after 50, cramps and muscle fatigue can appear even with normal daily activity. This can be due to changes in hydration, reduced muscle mass, or the use of certain medications. For some adults over 50, eating a banana regularly may help support normal muscle function and reduce occasional cramping, especially when combined with proper hydration. However, just like with heart health, more is not always better. Because potassium balance becomes more sensitive with age, bananas should support the diet, not replace medical guidance or electrolyte monitoring when needed. Next, let's look at something many people over 50 quietly struggle with: digestion and regularity, and how bananas can help or sometimes complicate that picture. Digestion, fiber, and regularity after 50. Digestive health is another area that often changes with age. After 50, many people experience slower digestion and more frequent issues with irregular bowel movements. This can be influenced by diet, hydration, lower activity levels, or certain medications. Bananas contain dietary fiber, which helps support normal digestion and bowel regularity. For some adults over 50, adding a banana to the daily routine may help make digestion more predictable, especially when paired with enough water and a balanced diet. However, bananas affect digestion differently depending on ripeness. Less ripe bananas contain more resistant starch, which some people find easier on blood sugar but harder to digest. Very ripe bananas are softer and easier to digest, but contain more natural sugars. This distinction matters more after 50, when digestion can be more sensitive. The key is to observe how your body responds and choose the ripeness that feels best, something younger adults often don't need to think about. Next, let's talk about blood sugar control and why bananas don't affect everyone the same way later in life. Blood sugar control and energy. Bananas are a natural source of carbohydrates, which means they directly affect blood sugar levels. For younger adults with high activity levels and good insulin sensitivity, this usually isn't a concern. Their bodies tend to process carbohydrates quickly and efficiently. But after 50, blood sugar regulation often becomes more sensitive. Insulin resistance is more common, and some people begin managing pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes for the first time. In this stage of life, how quickly blood sugar rises matters more than it used to. The effect of a banana depends largely on portion size and ripeness. Very ripe bananas contain more natural sugars and can raise blood sugar more quickly. Less ripe bananas release glucose more slowly, which may feel steadier for some people. This doesn't mean bananas should be avoided after 50. It means they're best eaten with intention, for example, paired with protein or healthy fats, or timed around physical activity. Younger adults can often eat a banana without noticing much difference. After 50, your body gives clearer feedback, and learning to listen to it becomes part of staying healthy. Next, we'll look at one of the most important and often overlooked topics: who should be careful with daily bananas after 50? Who should be careful with bananas after 50? While bananas can be a healthy addition for many people, they are not ideal for everyone after the age of 50. This is mainly because bananas are high in potassium. For most healthy individuals, the kidneys remove excess potassium without any problem. But after 50, kidney function may decline, sometimes gradually and without obvious symptoms. This means potassium can build up in the blood more easily. People who need to be especially cautious include those who have chronic kidney disease, have been told their potassium levels are high, take certain blood pressure or heart medications that affect potassium balance. In these cases, eating bananas every day, especially in large portions, may not be appropriate without medical guidance. This doesn't mean bananas are dangerous. It means that after 50, nutrition becomes more personalized. What works well for one person may not be ideal for another, even when it comes to something as simple as a fruit. Younger adults rarely need to think about this level of detail. But after 50, paying attention to how your body and your lab results respond becomes part of eating smart. Next, let's talk about how to eat bananas safely and wisely after 50 if you choose to include them in your daily routine. How to eat bananas safely after 50. If you choose to eat bananas regularly after 50, how you eat them matters. For most people, one medium banana a day is a reasonable portion, not several. Pay attention to ripeness. Slightly less ripe bananas may cause a slower rise in blood sugar. Very ripe bananas are easier to digest, but contain more natural sugars. Timing also makes a difference. Eating a banana with a meal or pairing it with protein or healthy fats can help reduce sudden blood sugar spikes. Having it around physical activity, such as before or after a walk, may also improve how your body uses the energy. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you experience symptoms like unusual fatigue, heart palpitations, or digestive discomfort, it's a sign to reassess, not to ignore. After 50, healthy eating isn't about following rigid rules. It's about understanding your body and making small, informed choices instead of automatic ones. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have specific health concerns or take regular medications, speak with your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more evidence-based health insights. Take care of your body. It's been taking care of you for a long time.